Chef Buck here, and today we're going to cook up some beets and beet greens. These are the golden beets. Now we're going to separate our greens from our bulbs, and we're going to cook both of these. So I'll do it right here to get rid of the roughest part of the bulb, of the stem, and I'll cut the top of the bulb off here and the bottom of the bulb. And you want to make sure and give your greens and bulbs a good wash. That's what we're going to end up with right there. Look how pretty that is. And I'm going to cut it up in about 1/2-inch pieces. Saute these up in a pan if you want, but one of the easiest hassle-free ways to cook up some beets is just to roast them in the oven. Alrighty, these are pretty close in size. Now I got a baking pan here that I've lined with foil. I'm going to go ahead and throw a little olive oil in here and coat them with oil and just cook them in the oven like that. A little oil on my pan, just a little bit of salt, and a little bit of garlic powder. But you can use whatever kind of seasoning you like. I'm just going to spread them out on our baking sheet. I got my oven preheated to 350 degrees. We'll just slide it in there and we're going to let them roast away for about ½ hour. But while that's happening, we're going to heat up our skillet and get my oil heated up. While my oil's heating up, I'm going to go ahead and start separating my greens from my stems. Boom, boom, boom. And I've already got some pre-chopping stuff done, so you know, you might want to do this first, because this is a fast process. You know, once you start to cook up your greens, they cook up really quickly. Once my oil's heated up, I'm going to throw my onion in here and let my onion get a little bit of a head start. Now I'm going to take my stems and I'm going to chop them into about 1/4-inch pieces. And this seems like a lot, but this is just like spinach in that it's going to cook down quite a bit in the skillet. The main thing is that if you're going to use the stem and the leaf, is that you separate it and chop the stems up and get them started a little bit before the greens. I'm going to add in a little bit of garlic. And we'll go ahead and give this garlic about a minute. And I'm going to throw a little bit of seasoning in here, just a little bit of salt and a little bit of chili pepper. And I got my chopped up beet green stems. And we'll get everything mixed up. And these greens are going to release a lot of moisture. And I don't have a lid for this skillet, so I'm just going to throw this pan on here because that looks pretty professional. So while that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and chop my greens up here a little bit more. And these greens won't take any time at all to cook up. So that's why you want to separate the stems and give those a head start. I'm just going to give these a rough chop. Let me check it out. Even those stems cook down quite a little bit once that water starts to get out of them. Oops, oops, oops. Yeah, it's already pretty tender. You can cut them in whatever shape you want, whatever size. You know, just cook them long enough for them to be tender. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and throw my greens in here. Spread them around. And I'm going to throw this on here and let them wilt a little bit before I even stir them up. That way I won't make a mess. Boom, boom, boom. Man, look how vibrant that green looks. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat off. We'll just set these aside. And that's all there is to cooking up beet greens. So I'll just pull it into a little beet green pile so that they can huddle there and stay warm. Come over here, camera girl. We still got 10 minutes left on this dish. Let me pull it out of the oven here. I'll probably let these go for another 10 minutes, but I'm going to go ahead and give them a stir. Starting to color up a little bit on one side there. We'll slide it back in the oven, give it another 10 minutes maybe. Beep, 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 beep. So the total cooking time has been 30 minutes. You can see that the fork goes easily in there. But it's just like red beets, but the taste is a little milder. So a couple of very simple beet preparations to use the whole plant. If you want to print these recipes, I'll have the link down below. You can go to myfoodchannel.com, print out all the recipes over there. Thanks for watching. Hope everybody's doing all righty out there. We'll see you in the future. Bye-bye.